Hi, welcome to Bar Cart Bookshelf, a video series about books and the drinks they inspire. My name is Elias, and today we're talking about When They Burned the Butterfly by Wen-yi Lee. After last week, we're done with the femmes, but we're not done with lesbians. When They Burned the Butterfly is an historical fantasy novel set in 1972 Singapore about a gang of young women who have the power to control fire through the mediation of a goddess, Madame Red Butterfly. And they're part of this sort of system of gangs that are existing here in Singapore, the Kongsi, who all derive magical power from different divine influences, extra strength or the ability to transform your appearance or various other sorts, control over funerary rites and mediations for the dead and that sort of thing. And this is right at a turning point in Singaporean society where the city-state is sort of newly independent, is moving into modernity, moving into a new phase of being in sort of international communities, and the sort of conflict of being a person at this turning point, and the sort of desire for power and community through that. There's a real thoughtful approach to the sort of desire for independence outside of married life, outside of the sort of structures and strictures of society, the intersections between queer female desire, between sex work and transness, and the sort of desire for self-authority and agency all through that. It's the story of Adeline, who is a young woman, and when her mother dies in a fire, she finds herself drawn into this world of the Kongsi and really takes to it in a sort of profound way, even as she's grappling with the fact that her mother was a successful businesswoman and secretly the leader of a gang, which we discover fairly early. And it's through Adeline that we sort of explore this world and the tensions that underlie it, the political tension as they explore the succession of leadership in this gang, the lure of street crime, and the community that comes from being sort of implicated in crimes together, but also being in community together. It's a book that doesn't shy away from the fact that these young women are running, a protection racket, that because they have the ability to manifest fire in their hands, there is a threat that they will burn down your business. And it doesn't shy away from the, grim sort of sordidness of crime, even as it becomes a sense of community and a drawing together, and satisfies a need in Adeline that she really didn't have previously in her young adult life. It's a really thoughtful book. It's just sort of kaleidoscopic in some ways. It's filtering through. It's got this wonderful sense of place, very keenly observed and sort of historically supported, even as, as the author's note suggests, that Singapore is a city that's always sort of tearing down and rebuilding and reinventing itself. It gives that wonderful sort of sodium glow sense of the early 70s. And so we had to have a drink. Our drink today is the Madame Butterfly, named for the leader of this gang, and we are going to begin with 2 ounces of baijiu. Baijiu is a Chinese spirit distilled from sorghum. It's one that I've been wanting to use as a base for a cocktail for a long time, and so I'm really excited to finally incorporate. It's sort of hot and floral, and, or at least this one is, you do see a wide range of Baijius, but I was so glad, even though the majority of characters are drinking rice wine and beer, for a madam in a brothel to offer up some Baijiu and to have that be the base of our cocktail. So we'll get 2 ounces of Baijiu. This is the Ming River Sichuan Baijiu. It's one that's like reasonably available in America, but certainly experiment out. I know we've got an international audience here with this one. All right, to that we're going to add half an ounce of yuzu curacao. So like orange curacao, but a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter, a little bit more golden and kind of tropical. I like a yuzu. It's sort of midway between a lemon and a grapefruit, and going to bring that sort of citrusy, bittersweetness to our Madame Butterfly. And then, for a bit of fire, half an ounce of ginger syrup. I love ginger syrup. It makes things nice and bright and fiery. It's got that sort of peppery burn of the ginger root and that touch of sweetness as well. Oh, it can just sort of smell so lovely the minute you pour it. And then finally, we're going to add 2 droppers full of our Puder Smoke and Salt bitters, which are going to add that bit of fiery smokiness, that edge of smoke just there on the brininess of our sort of brackish water and mangrove forests here in Singapore. This lovely bit of delicate balance to some ingredients that can be very assertive. Baijiu holds its own. Ginger holds its own. Smoke holds its own. Yuzu plays well with others, helps to bring it all together. And then we will add our ice. Good. Get our ice in there. We always add our ice last because we never know when we're going to find ourselves, immersed in gang warfare and have to get on our way. Lovely, lovely. I would also be remiss in not noting that Wen-yi Lee's work first appeared on my radar in the wonderful Amplitudes anthology, edited by friend of the show Lee Mandello last year. And a huge thank you to the publisher of When They Burned the Butterfly, Tor Books, for sending me a review copy when I was so enamored of Lee's short story in that Amplitudes anthology. Definitely both books worth checking out. So give that a nice stir. Perfect. And then strain into a stemmed glass. Light, delicate, golden, floral, hot, burning Madame Butterfly. And there you have it. This is the Madame Butterfly, inspired by When They Burned the Butterfly by Wen-yi Lee. When They Burned the Butterfly is available now. Again, a huge thank you to the publisher Tor Books for sending me a copy for review. It's been high on my TBR, and I'm so glad to have spent some time in a much more tropical climate the past couple of days, while it's been really cold in my neck of the woods. I've got a link to snag the book in the description down below, as well as a link to purchase my book, Cocktails and Consoles, 75 Cocktails and Mocktails Inspired by the Wonderful World of Video Games. Hope you'll check that out. We've got some great crime games in there as well. Persona 5, that sort of thing. Very different, but also sort of a piece in this grand tradition of exploration of crime and criminality, the lure of that, and the danger of that. We've got links to various forms of social media, including Blue Sky and Instagram, where there is always a written version of today's recipe. Try the drink. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Hit that like button. It makes me so happy when you do, and really helps me to discover what sorts of books we want to talk about here on Barkheart Bookshelf. You can always signal your support of different sorts of things in the comments, in the likes. I do pay attention to that, and I'm so excited to be sharing things with all of you. Subscribe if you haven't already so you never miss an episode. We've been talking a lot about some books that have already come out, and we are approaching a time of year where we are going to be talking about a lot of books on or about their release day. Some really exciting 2026 titles coming up. I can't wait to share them with all of you. And until next time, cheers.